emotions and how emotions work in our lives. This morning, I want to speak about one specific emotion. And it stemmed from a conversation that I was having with Donna. And I love talking to Donna because Donna thinks about it. And she'll take her time. And so I want to cover a specific emotion this morning. The title of the sermon today is "You Wouldn't Want to See Me." I grew up watching the Hulk, the old school Hulk. And it was a regular man, but when things happened that made him angry, he turned into this green monster. And as I got older and started dealing with my own anger, I started to understand how accurate of a depiction that was, to have the green monster come out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my muscles didn't get any bigger, but they felt bigger. I didn't rip my clothes. Well, maybe once or twice I might have, but I did it myself, So, as I grew up and I was battling with anger, I don't know why I was angry half the time, but I realized my whole childhood was kind of angry. Probably why I didn't cry that much. I was too angry to be sensitive. I was too angry. You wouldn't want to see me angry. There's a woman sitting at the dinner table, and her and her husband are sitting there and felt convicted. Started dealing with his own anger. And he says, "Dear, I am really sorry. I haven't always treated you well in my anger. I've done some things that I'm really ashamed of in my anger. And you've always been so cool and calm and collected. I want that. How do you keep so much control when I'm being angry?" She says, "Oh, that's easy. I just go and clean the toilet." He's like, "Really? That helps?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, when you do it with the toothbrush of the person that's making you angry. It's easy." There's a couple of things we need to learn about anger. Number one, anger is dangerous. Number two, what is anger for? Number three, how does anger go wrong? Number four, when should we be angry? And number five, what do we do when we are angry? I said anger is dangerous, number one. There are two types of anger. There's explosive anger and suppressed anger. We all know what explosive anger looks like. For anyone who's ever seen a Karen video, you know what explosive anger looks like. When you see someone just going off in the store or knocking stuff off the shelves, you know what explosive anger looks like. We don't always know what suppressed anger looks like. And I think this is one of the places that the church at large has it wrong, is we have taught people how to suppress anger. And anger oftentimes looks like this. You can't tell that I'm angry, but inside, I'm ready. Anger can look like, I don't care. Anger can look like fear. You think they're leaving because they're afraid, but they're really leaving because they're afraid of what they're about to do to you. Anger suppressed sometimes is even worse than anger exploding. We teach people to be calm, cool, and collected. Don't let them see your anger. We teach them even that anger is wrong. Then we don't teach them much else about anger. Hide your anger. Don't be angry. That's the message that I've always heard. Don't let them see you sweat. Don't let them know that you're angry. And even sometimes lie about it. When somebody says, "Are you mad?" "No, I'm not mad. I'm bothered a little bit." I'm a little frustrated. No, I'm not mad. I just needed to get this off my chest. We lie about the anger that we have because we've been taught so well how to suppress it. Certainly, as a Christian, we'll never be the ones, throwing stuff off the shelves. Well, as a Christian. Certainly, we'll never be the one cursing people out. Well, as a Christian. Certainly, we'll never be the one to drive our car into something on purpose. As a Christian. We'll never be that one because we've learned how to suppress our anger. But the Bible is not silent on anger. The Bible actually takes a unique view of anger. There's two types of cultures. There is a culture that is collective, where everything is the society first. And in those cultures, they teach you how to suppress anger. The church might be one of those. And then there's an individual culture that tells you need to express your anger. If you're mad, you need to tell them that they're mad. If they did something to make you angry, you need to let them know that you're angry. And holding that in is wrong. We see that all the time. The Bible takes a unique view on anger. Proverbs 14:29-30 say, "He who is slow to anger has great understanding, but he who is quick-tempered exalts folly. A tranquil heart is life to the body, but passion rottens the bones." Study after study shows that anger has devastated results on your body, whether you know it or not. So when the Bible says that it's rotten to the bones, it means that. It will literally disintegrate your inside. If you want a heart attack, there is nothing that can get you there faster than undealt with anger. If you want your bones to rot, if you want stuff just going through your system, there is nothing that will do that faster than unresolved. But we've learned how to suppress it. All types of research shows that anger kills things all around us. There's that internal anger, and then there's the explosive anger. Proverbs 29:22. An angry person stirs up conflict. And a hot-tempered person commits many sins. I've been liking these proverbs. When you start to deal with them, they deal with you. So the person who's explosive, they're going to mess up relationships. They're going to mess up the stuff around them. It stirs up conflict. You ever known somebody that's just waiting to be angry? Like they're already angry, but they're waiting for something to give them an excuse to express the anger. They don't think about it that way. They're like, no, I was mad because they stepped on my shoes. Well, your shoes were on the floor. Where were they supposed to step? I was mad because they got my order wrong. Well, you were talking through a microphone and they get paid minimum wage and they hadn't had a high school diploma and they've been at this all day. They've been working hard and there's been tons of orders that look kind of like yours, but not quite. What did you expect to happen? I was angry because there was an external source that made me angry. Well, sometimes you were just waiting to be angry. Some people, I remember there's a comedian that says, I go to a concert waiting to see somebody sitting in my seat. I'm already anticipating it. That when I get there, I know somebody's going to be there, and so I'm looking for them. I'm looking for opportunities to be angry. I signed up on Instagram to get messaged every time that a new Karen video came out. And it took me a couple of weeks. Every time I saw racism coming out of somebody's mouth, I was angry. And then I realized, wait a minute, McKinley, you signed up for this. It wasn't bothering you when you didn't know about it. You wanted this to come to you so that you could be angry about it. I set myself up to be angry. It destroys communities. Unmet anger, if I am angry at someone who looks like you, I am angry at you. I remember, I'm going to pick on my wife for a minute. She had a dream. I don't remember what I did in the dream. She was angry about it. And when she woke up, she let me know what I did in her dream. And so I got mad. I said, you ought to treat me better in your dream. You shouldn't let me do this in your dream. Because I love you too much to be doing that. So you can't just let me do any old thing in your dream. You got to get a control of your dreams better. I don't know what you're doing. You ain't like that too much. Anger is dangerous because it explodes. And it disintegrates things around us. It kills things inside of us. I like the word folly if you're keeping track. Anger also makes you stupid. Have you ever seen a fight, or not even a fight, but an angry argument, where somebody just keeps saying the same thing over and over again? It's because their vocabulary has really shrunk because they aren't in tune with their entire brain. That's why there aren't really that many curse words when you think about it. There's only a few that people choose from. They can't remember all those words. They just take the few that they know and they intermingle them with, some other insult and they switch them around. That's it. Because their brain has literally separated from the part that will remember vocabulary, that remember speech. That's why fighters have to train, because they have to not be angry and fight. Because when you're angry, your brain isn't in tune. Anger is like a small child. You don't really want it in the driver's seat, but you can't really put it in the trunk. When you think about it as parents, and some people may be offended because I know when my baby was a baby, he was the smartest. He was just so clever. He knew so much. But children are really not that bright. As parents, we spend the first several years of their life trying to keep them from killing themselves. How many times as a parent, you say, no, don't do it. No, don't put that in your mouth. No, stay right here. No, you have to. They're really not that bright. So you definitely don't want it in the driver's seat. If you leave a child with a car running in the driver's seat, something is going to happen. Same thing with anger. If you put a child in your trunk, leave them there a little bit too long, something's going to happen. Some people are coming for you. Okay? But where we get it wrong is we can't just not have them in the car. Anger has a purpose. Steve says this often. Whenever the purpose of something is unknown, abuse is inevitable. The problem is we don't know the purpose for our anger. We don't know why God gave us anger. We don't know what the point of anger is if we're not supposed to, launch out and smack stuff. If we're not supposed to hold it in and control it, we don't know what it's for. We don't know what to do with it. Maybe I'm speaking for myself. But I feel like the reason that we're seeing so much anger out there is because we have these two communities. The one that says suppress it and hold it in until it either kills you or it explodes. And the one that says express it in whatever way you feel. Well, remember, it disintegrates things, it kills things, and it makes you stupid. You know who likes stupid? The devil. He likes when we get into that stupid state. If you've ever heard somebody after a heated argument, I should have said. I guess I'm going to have to save it for next time. Next time somebody says, I'm going to say. You know what I should have done? As soon as she came into the room, I should have. You fill in the blank. I've been there. I know you have. For me, I remember I got into an angry conversation. We'll make it cute. Angry conversation with my next door neighbor. And for the next 2 days, I thought about all the evil things I could do. She likes plants. What kind of chemical? Does she have any pets? Oh, where do you think that stuff comes from? Where do you think it comes from? Well, because while you're being stupid, the devil's like, hey, you should do this. And then he steps back and see if you do it. No. How about try this? How about you do this? Well, you're still angry, and you're still going through the motions. So while you know what? Your family, you can be angry at them. They did something wrong once upon a time. Your kids, you can be angry at them. They did something wrong. You may not know what they did wrong, but they definitely did it. So when you're angry at work, you take it home to bring it because you're still angry. So what am I saying? Anger has a purpose. And we misuse anger. God gave us the ability to be angry. Anger is the answer to something. Just like gravity is good when used right, anger is good when used right. When I say gravity, have you ever considered what it would be like to use the restroom in a zero gravity atmosphere?
Thank you for gravity. Thank you.
Think about it for a minute. Don't think about it too long, but think about it for a minute.
Thank you for gravity.
Now, you may not like dropping things. You know, when something falls and it breaks, you're like, if I just didn't have gravity. But gravity serves a purpose. And as important as gravity is on this planet, anger has its purpose. We're going to get to that. Proverbs 16:32. He who is slow to anger is better than the mighty. That's the view that the Bible has on anger. It's not explosive anger. It's not suppressed anger. It's slow to anger. Why did God give us anger? Because that's one of his attributes. He says, I am the God, all over the Bible, I am the God, slow. But it seems like he was angry a lot in the Old Testament. But I am the God. So what is going on? The problem that we have is not with anger. There's a quote